It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 260. Graham Couch, sports columnist for the Lansing State Journal and co-host of Couch and the Rube on the Spotlight Radio Network, weekdays from 10 to noon. How are you, Graham?
I'm good. Some people think I'm Couch and I'm the Rube, which is a fair criticism as well. This guy, especially.
What'd you do with this week off?
I watched a lot of football, ate a lot of steak. My wife was out of town, got some work. I don't want her to understand how good a weekend it was.
Yeah.
But it was really nice.
Back-to-back road weeks with that little bye in the middle, so you'll be back out there next week in Bloomington. Also want to welcome Rico Beard, longtime Detroit radio and TV personality. He's Specs Howard broadcasting instructor, recruiting insider, and he is host of the expanded Spartan Beat, weekdays from noon to 2 on the Spotlight Radio Network. You like this double dose?
I like the double dose. You know, I guess I need to maybe hang out with Darian, work out a little bit because I got a show to carry that starts before me to try and get them some listeners. But
big load?
Listen to their show at 10 o'clock in the morning, then listen to me. So, yeah, no.
It's appreciated. Thank you.
Day-long programming. We have the Lions Today, or Lions No Day show, as we might be calling it, with Doug Warren, who will be here in just a couple of minutes. And then the Drive with Jack and Tom from 3 to 6, and then replays, and lots of good things. We'll tell you more about that. Also want to welcome Darian Harris, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions. He is a graduate student. He is a future athletic director and aspiring broadcaster, including weekly appearances on BTN Live every Friday afternoon. That sounds like big fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, but I hope the Big Ten can start playing better, so we have some good things to talk about. It's been a little bit of a struggle to start the season off for a conference that probably for the last 2 years from top to bottom was probably the best in the country, but it's going to be hard to say that for the duration of the rest of this year.
It's easy when it's bad. You guys can't say bad things on the BTN because this week should be a piece of cake.
It should be. It should be. But
it's the big one and little 13 is what it looks like.
We're a positive network over at BTN.
Okay.
So.
How much say do you have in what that segment is? Do they tell you what they want you to do, or can you make suggestions? And
it's pretty much scripted out before in terms of what we're going to talk about from top to bottom, but I definitely am able to put in my own input and try to bring my expertise to the show. So it's definitely exciting to be able to do that.
Well, you can give firsthand input about bye weeks, having gone through that, and how sometimes that can be the best thing can happen to it.
Yeah, I think that just the way the season has started for Michigan State, this bye week has been put in the perfect spot.
Yeah, when you think about injuries, other factors, the psychology of it.
See, I think the injuries, Jack, I don't know if the bye week fixes the red zone problem. I don't know if the bye week fixes the offensive line. You get Chewins back, but geez, I don't know if it fixes those problems. We'd like to think so. Fingers crossed.
What about L.J. Scott? Expect to see him ready to go, ready to roll?
Well, that's a question, right? And I think Indiana is also the perfect time, because after that I think there are two opponents they're going to beat regardless, and you don't know if you fix things. I think you'll get a sense on the road against an Indiana team that's played pretty well to this point whether you've actually made some progress.
Think of all the things that happened in Tempe, Arizona. Maybe the most significant long-term would be the injury to Jacob Hartbarker. Yeah. He's unable to come back till late in the season, or maybe not at all. Darian, not what you want to do is to start the Big Ten season with a backup
Well,
punter.
as Coach Stresser always says, punt is the most important play in football. So to lose your punter, who's been playing at all Big Ten level, is pretty significant, I think.
I remember a game
because it wasn't a penalty, so was it really an injury?
Jacob Hartbarger did not punt much against Michigan in 2015, his freshman year. That turned out all right.
Yeah.
Had a nice ending to it. Punt's the most important play in football, right? Especially if you never get it off. We'll be right back. Our Law of the Jungle segment. Doug Warren will be here to talk about the Detroit Lions. Up next, here on Press Pass.
Catch the savings at Capital Honda. New 2018 Honda Accord LX, just $249 a month. Or new 2018 Honda Civic LX, only $169 a month. During the Honda Summer Spectacular event at Capital Honda. Because you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
When the Ingham County prosecutor resigned in disgrace, Gretchen Whitmer was tapped to replace him.
Gretchen got that office back to protecting the people we serve.
She hit the ground running.
As a prosecutor, she started a domestic violence unit
to make sure that victims' voices are being heard.
Gretchen Whitmer prosecuted violent criminals, and she protected the people that they hurt.
She's tough, she's tested.
She got the job done.
Now, we need to do more to protect victims of violence and abuse. I'm Gretchen Whitmer. Let's get to work.
If you're not well, but it's not an emergency, choose Sparrow Fast Care for things like infections, the flu, allergies, even the common cold.
But if you need x-rays, stitches, or to mend some broken bones, then choose Sparrow Urgent Care.
From Lansing, DeWitt to Okemos
to East Lansing, Mason, and Grand Ledge, and now open on Michigan Avenue in Lansing.
Walk in or check in online at sparrowcares.org. Sparrow Fast Care
and Sparrow Urgent Care.
Healthcare at the speed of life.
In 1969, one filmmaker was granted unlimited access to the most infamous cult in history.
It feels good to be ready to face death and love it.
Inside the Manson Cult, The Lost Tapes, this Monday on Fox.
Download the Fox 47 News app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern open workspace.
They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week, though Woody's items are now available at Tom's Foods and other local grocers. There you see the Lions in action against the New York Jets, or in action, I guess. You can make it one word. Sam Darnold, first play of the game. It looks like the Lions are off and running Monday night. What a start to the 2018 season and the Matt Patricia era. Should have quit right then. That was it. Everything after that was bad for the Lions, including the effort. And one of the most humiliating performances in Monday Night Football history. Jets had the ball at the 2-yard line, first and goal at the end of the game, took a deliberate delay and then consecutive knees. And if they had not done that, they would have tied the second highest score in Monday Night Football history and the second biggest road winning margin. And you see some of the Lions, and they're not really running as hard as they should be. We saw that again today against San Francisco. Doug Warren joins us, our Detroit Lions historian. And Doug, you're going to be down at Ford Field next week.
Oh yeah, I'll be down there for the slaughter. I can't wait.
What did we learn about week 1 of the Matt Patricia era?
Week 1, we learned that this team is a lot worse than people thought. And today, with the loss to San Francisco, we learned that this team is slightly above incompetent, but they're still very bad and have a lot of work to do. 6 sacks was good. The defense got 6 sacks today, but they had 105 yards in penalties. They had 98 yards rushing as a team, but they gave up 190 yards on defense on the ground to a bunch of no-names for San Francisco. So, again, this team, today they actually look like a 7-9 team. Last week they looked like a 2-14 team, so it's baby steps, Jack.
Some of the things, gentlemen, that we've been hearing about during the preseason surfaced again today. Shoddy tackling, poor defensive principles, not really chasing the ball, long plays, and guys kind of jogging after it.
Yeah, early in the game, Chris Spielman on the broadcast said that there were 3 Lions and 1 gap defensively. So that's not a good sign. This isn't Pop Warner.
Yeah,
so.
you can't keep shooting yourself in the foot with penalties. I mean, even late in the game, when it looks like you almost got a pick six, you took it down to the 5-yard line, you would have won this thing. And holding.
And the other thing you start to see is sort of a desperation with a guy like Matthew Stafford. Like, he has a sack fumble that turns into 3 points that winds up being the margin of the game because he's hanging on to the ball, trying to do too much. Yeah. He feels the game getting away from him, and he stops playing the long game. Right there, you needed to fight to live another day and get rid of the ball. And those are plays that, again, you obviously get the penalty and the defensive holding late that negates the pick, but it's little things early in the game, too, that come back to bite you.
Yeah, and Stafford hasn't been sharp through the first 2 weeks. So last Monday he was horrible. And today he missed a lot of guys that were wide open. The deep balls overthrew him. That could have been the difference in the game, too.
Jared Davis has no idea how to tackle, to wrap up and tackle. And we talk about 3 lions in one gap. The last time that happened was when they had a signing in a clothing store.
Yeah.
So when you think about Matthew Stafford and what was arguably the worst week of his career,
right?
What do we make of this? Is he still a top 10 quarterback in your eyes?
He's borderline top 10 right now. He needs to get his ass in gear. I mean, he's not playing like a guy who's making all the money he's making. He's taking a step back this year, which nobody really expected.
Right. Top 10 quarterback, Rico?
He never was top 10 quarterback to me. Maybe top 15, not top 10.
Yeah, top 15 for sure. He's been that for a long time. I said top 10 last year, but he's not playing that way right now.
He's top 10. He's top 10. He's still top 10. We're 2 weeks in, and you saw some juice in the offense late, and you saw him getting a little bit of rhythm.
30 comeback wins. Does that matter?
He's always done
None of
that.
them are in the playoffs.
That's why they call him Pat Stafford, because he's,
But if you go through the quarterbacks, who would you rather have, Stafford or the other guy? Yeah. Once you get past 5 or 6, it's really a wash.
There's a lot more that you can go with because at least they're younger and they're up and coming. Where Stafford's established and he hasn't gotten anything done. But we've lowered the bar so much in Detroit. He's Lions good. He's not NFL good. He's Lions good because Lions are willing to accept anything.
Chris Spielman said he's top 5 in the NFL.
Yeah. Well,
top 5.
Where did he play again? Exactly.
I don't think it has anything to do with Lions good. I think you look at a lot of guys. You look at Matt Ryan. A lot of people think he's pretty good. I'd rather have Matthew Stafford than Matt Ryan any day of the week.
At least he's gone to
30 comeback wins.
With a much better roster.
Historically, or what he's done in terms of the
Stafford's pretty good. He needs to play better. He is not playing right now like a guy who can put the team on his shoulders and lead them to victories, like Kirk Cousins is doing, and like Aaron Rodgers is doing in his own division.
And when Matthew Stafford, didn't he once have the best wide receiver in the game and still couldn't win? So don't give me that loaded roster.
There were lots of other things.
Johnson, and you did nothing with him.
There were lots of other things.
I'm sorry, okay? You had Calvin, you did nothing.
Would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Matthew Stafford?
At this point, I'd take Cousins.
Then you don't know the game. I'm telling you right now,
maybe I'll watch soccer because I don't agree with Graham Couch.
I
don't know the game.
You don't. It's not close.
Right, because he doesn't win, Graham.
It's not close.
He doesn't win. What's the point of football?
What has Kirk Cousins won?
The game.
A quarterback is on the field 40% of the time. Don't forget the Lions defense is out there missing tackles 40%. 20% of the time, they're making bad special teams plays, etc. We'll be right back. Much more college football up next with The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways.
Visit any Graf dealership today and get an on-the-spot appraisal for your trade.
And if we can't make a trade, we'll give you a $20 gift card.
We feel if you let us appraise your trade, we'll earn your business.
And you'll get great Graf deals like these.
Drive off a 2019 Equinox for just $142 a month. That's right, just $142 a month.
What if they're in a lease?
We'll give them $20 for their time also, because we buy a lot of leases too. We want your trade, and if you let us appraise it, we'll earn your business.
Trade in, trade up, get more, only at a Graf dealership near you.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And build
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Jamie Foxx hosts the hit music game show Beat Shazam, all new Tuesdays on Fox.
Comprehensive Sleep Center is a state-of-the-art, handicap-accessible, accredited lab with over 50 years of combined experience. Dr. Mame Dove is board-certified, fellowship-trained, and our technicians are registered sleep technologists. A full night's sleep is within your grasp with us by your side.
Thinking about moving? Make your next house a home with a mortgage from MSU Federal Credit Union. Apply for your mortgage loan today by calling or stopping in. You can also apply online. MSU FCU, building dreams together.
Go green!
Don's Fleet Services on Eaton Rapids Road has been serving the Lansing area for over 20 years. Call Don's for all of your automotive needs, from regular maintenance to full repairs.
Don's Fleet Services. Go green!
At Comprehensive Sleep Center, we provide diagnosis and treatments for sleep health issues, including HST and Inspire Therapy. Our staff manages all sleep disorders for children and adults and will work with insurance companies on your behalf. A full night's sleep is within your grasp, with us by your side.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were last month for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The play gets off. It's heading left. No good. The fifth-year senior, Rafael Gaglianone, a Groza watch list kicker. Can't connect from 42 yards out.
There you see some stunned Wisconsin Badgers fans. Probably hold that position through the entire fifth quarter band routine. And BYU bench erupting after the three-point win. One of the bigger surprises, but not the only surprise for Big Ten play yesterday. Rico Beard, even the Big Ten's losses in other weeks looked worse this weekend with the way Notre Dame played and Arizona State's disappearance at San Diego State. What's wrong with the Big Ten?
I don't think anything's wrong with the Big Ten. I think a couple things, Jack. One, I think maybe we just overvalue the Big Ten. We thought, the Big Ten could compete with the SEC West. Wrong. Not that good. Sorry. SEC West is still king. They got the best teams in there. But I think the Big Ten is still finding itself out. And I think that it was just an inflated value to it. But I also look back to 2015 when you had Michigan State losing to Notre Dame. You had Ohio State losing to Virginia Tech. Everybody wrote the league off. Michigan State beats Baylor. And Ohio State, oh, by the way, wins the national title. It's early in the season. We like to overreact. That's what we do here.
But that's two teams, Graham. There were a lot of teams lost bad games.
There were, but that's around the country, too. I think we live here, so we see a really bad team. If you're in the ACC, I mean, North Carolina, who week one lost at home to East Carolina by 20 points, nobody up here talks to that. People they get gleeful, they like to revel in the Big Ten struggles because it is one of the power brokers in sports. I think that has a lot to do with it. There are some teams struggling. Northwestern losing at home to Akron, that shouldn't happen. Illinois has been down for a while. Purdue hasn't quite found itself. Maryland plays a really immature game against Temple. There are a lot of things that aren't going well right now. But again, you're right. The playoff, the 4-team playoff has forced us not to have patience in a season, right? Because everything is about, whoa, that team can no longer go to the playoff. Woe is me, the season's over.
To say that Purdue hasn't quite found itself with 3 straight home losses after winning a bowl game last year.
I mean, as a program, we thought last year with Fromm that they may be,
And unfortunately, as D'Antonio says, the game of inches, they're inches away from being 3-0. I mean, there's no such thing as a good loss, but my goodness, Purdue is living the life of the Cleveland Browns right about now. You just feel sorry for them.
Wouldn't wish that on anyone. Darian, the teams in the Big Ten West, the 7 teams, have 9 losses at home thus far. Are we one Ohio State loss away from the Big Ten being on the outside for the playoff picture for a second consecutive year?
I think we might be, and as Graham just touched on, that's how you have to look at the season now. As if a loss happens all of a sudden, now you might say that team is out. So you know, if that one loss is to Penn State and Penn State runs the table, they'll get in, you know, just by the way that the draw works. Or if Wisconsin runs the table for the rest of the way, beats an Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship, they'll get in. But now we're talking about a lot of variables here. So obviously Ohio State, I believe, for right now is probably the best bet. I mean, Michigan State and Michigan as well could pull off the same thing with running the table, winning a Big Ten title, and making it to the playoffs. But for right now, I do think Ohio State is the best bet. And if they take a loss to a team that's not named a Michigan State or Michigan or Wisconsin in the Big Ten title game, then they're not going to get in either.
Yeah, and when you think about resume building wins, Big Ten doesn't really have a chance to do that again until Notre Dame goes to Northwestern in November. Graham, as we get ready for this ramped up conference schedule, give me your top 3 teams in each division.
Ohio State, Penn State, and I think it's Michigan, although you could argue MSU, Indiana have done as much as Michigan to this point. The other side, I think it's Iowa number 1. We're not talking about that. They were more impressive defensively. They were
all
more
those fast receivers they have.
They were more impressive defensively against Iowa State than Oklahoma was against Iowa State. And then I go Wisconsin, and right now you got to go Minnesota. I mean, the rest of the West is pretty bad.
Anybody else think Iowa's going to be in Indy again?
No, I think Wisconsin's going to assist. They're going to do this.
Darian?
I would say Wisconsin will get there.
We'll be right back talking Spartan football up next here on Press Pass.
Welcome to this Wildwood Lodge. Beautiful modern furniture and this spacious front living 2-side out. With all of the modern amenities that you would expect, including a double basin sink, a full-size fridge, beautiful bathroom with a full shower.
Where is Larry? Why is he so hard to find?
Let Larry find a great deal for you at Larry's RV in Jackson.
Larry, are you out there?
With the David Chapman Agency, auto owners' insurance policies come with something extra. Local agents who care about you. Our agents will help you find the right coverage at the best price. 3 generations serving you at the David Chapman Agency, your local auto owners' insurance agents.
It's the finale of summer's $1 Million Musical Party, and we invite you to play along.
Hold on, get that money. First category is 90s, which is probably the time your flannel was still cool.
Beat Shazam season finale Tuesday on Fox.
Every night is family night. Last man standing.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Fox 47.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Who's on Thursday Night Football?
Vikings, Rams.
Really?
Really?
McVay's offense versus Zimmer's defense, studs all over the field.
That game's on Thursday?
Yeah.
Colts, Pats, look, Brady.
On freaking Brady on Thursday Night Football.
Imagine how excited Belichick's gonna be.
Eagles, Giants.
OBJ, Carson Wentz, Saquon.
What do Fox do to get these games?
Panthers, Steelers.
Cam Newton, Big Ben, and my man Antonio Brown.
Unreal. Packers and Seahawks. I mean, what more could you want in a game?
Saints, Cowboys?
Saints and Cowboys? They're the NFL's royal family.
We never used to have Thursday matchups like this.
This is way different.
This is ridiculous.
This is incredible.
Man, these Thursday night games are good.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 104 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you, as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
Plan was, if they didn't get that first down at the end, and it was 3rd and 1, we were going to go after them and try and stop them. I'm not sure if we had a timeout or not, but we were trying to kick the field goal right then. You know, the play stood, and it was a first down. They did a smart thing, got into the middle of the field. We were going to let them score. We were going to let them score, try and punch the ball. But, you know, we got to the middle of the field, took a knee, and, you know, closed it out from there.
There you see Joe Bocci Jr. after the Arizona State game. Graham, I think you were asking questions about how to handle the clock management, letting a team score or not. Darian Harris, you were there when Michigan State lost at Notre Dame 2013, lost at Oregon, when they were actually upset by Ohio State, and somehow squandered a game at Nebraska. Those teams finished 36-5. How does this team bounce back with the bye week from what most people expected would be a fun trip to the desert, and was, except for about 3.5 hours?
Yeah, well, I think that what Michigan State has shown in 2015, the Nebraska game was a little bit later in the season, but I think that Coach D-led teams have shown that they know how to bounce back after losses early on in the year. And one of the main things I said after the Arizona State loss was it's very difficult to win college football games. It's very difficult to win football games in general. It is extremely hard to win college football games. And that's just a fact. That's not making excuses. You know, I don't want to hear about heat and, West Coast, anything. Right. You have to go out there, you got to win the game. However, it is difficult to win football games. Arizona State's was playing better, and then they drop a game against San Diego State, so that kind of hurts Michigan State's resume going forward. But I do think that Michigan State is a team that's always known how to bounce back after losses, after quote-unquote bad losses like that. So this Indiana game is going to be a test of the will and the fortitude of Michigan State.
And Michigan State, Graham, you said is a 3.5-point favorite opening line. I don't want to gloss over serious concerns and persistent problems, but what do the Spartans need to do to bounce back from that disappointment at Sun Devil Stadium?
Well, I think they need to, a couple things. I think they need to reevaluate their approach offensively. The strength of your team right now is at quarterback and your top 3 receivers. And so there is no down that can't be a passing down. You get to 3rd and 1, that can be a passing down. You got to play to that strength right now, especially if you're not able to get a push. The other thing is you got to shuffle that offensive line or at least work with it and see if you can maybe get Cole Chewins healthy finally. Maybe you figure out who's going to be your center, who are your best 5, and try to get a rhythm there of some sorts. But I think it's playing to your strengths and reevaluating that a little bit.
Cole Chewins come back this week, Rico? Do you expect to see him in the lineup?
Well, he played like a
one
snap.
Play.
A snap. Yeah. I mean, it was like, yeah, he's going to be back in one snap, and yeah, he was back. I mean, you had the 2 weeks off. You're hoping that whatever the problem was, he's okay with it. I guess in a perfect world, Michigan State would go out there. And to me, I think the biggest problem that they had in the last 2 games they played was they squandered opportunities to jump ahead early and just put teams away. Yeah. They let Utah State hang around. They let Arizona State hang around. They could have ended that thing earlier, going back and looking at it, leaving at least 18 points on the field in the first 3 quarters.
They play a lot of close games traditionally.
And I think it kind of goes to what Graham is saying. I hate to say that, but you got to change your approach, and I think you need more of a killer instinct early. And look, you're not going to become Alabama, but you need to be able to just put teams away and say, you know what, we're better than you, and get your check at the end of the game. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. We're just going to beat you.
So how dangerous is a 2nd straight road game, a 3rd straight night game, and how critical is this win to Michigan State's championship chances?
I mean, I hate to say it, but this is probably the biggest game right now. I wouldn't have said that at the beginning of the year, that Indiana, you had to win. But not only do you need to go to Indiana and win, but you have to win impressively. You have to show your team, your coaching staff, and your fans that, you know what, we didn't forget how to play football. We know how to win, and we know how to do this the right way. To go to Indiana and struggle or go to overtime will leave a lot of doubt, and I think it'll start to creep into players like, maybe we aren't as good as what we are. You go to Indiana, you handle your business. I think then you can get the season on.
You just got to win.
Again.
You just got to win. Indiana's always played Michigan State tough. It's a good program. You're on the road. They play tempo. There's a lot. I mean, you're right. You got to show you fix some things.
Right.
But you just got to win.
Darian, in 2013, Michigan State struggled until the Iowa game into October. Is it important psychologically to dominate, or just get the W, baby?
I think it depends on who you're playing. So I definitely agree with both points. On the one hand, this needs to be a little bit of a statement game, to Rico's point. But on the other hand, to Graham's point, and I've been there, it's hard to play Indiana. It's hard to play Indiana on the road. They may necessarily have Tevin Coleman or Jordan Howard back there, but they do have a pretty capable freshman running back, and they're going to hit you hard with inside zone. So this is a run-stopping, obviously, defense with Michigan State, but you just have to get the win. You have to get the win. And, to talk about that Iowa win in 2013, we didn't know Connor was going to be the guy yet.
Right. Michigan State struggled at Indiana, lost there 2 years ago. Can't let that happen again. We'll be right back talking Michigan football up next.
Visit any Graf dealership today and get an on-the-spot appraisal for your trade.
And if we can't make a trade, we'll give you a $20 gift card.
We feel if you let us appraise your trade, we'll earn your business.
And you'll get great Graf deals like these.
Drive off a new Chevy Malibu for just $108 a month. That's right, just $108 a month.
What if they're in a lease?
We'll give them $20 for their time also, because we buy a lot of leases too. We want your trade, and if you let us appraise it, we'll earn your business.
Trade in, trade up, get more, only at a Graf dealership near you.
Working with the Ide Company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the Ide Company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
'18 marks the 25th anniversary of the 5th Third Capital City River Run. Family-friendly races that celebrate and build awareness of and financially support greater Lansing organizations that promote education and the desire to learn healthy lifestyles. To participate in the Capital City River Run, visit playmakersfitfoundation.org.
Foster Swift is proud to support our community.
How do you show up? Do you just bring it? Or do you bring it all?
Focus.
Third row like a pro. GM employee program participants with a current GM lease can get this low mileage lease on this 2018 GMC Acadia SLE1 for $199 per month for 24 months. We are professional grade. GMC.
All 11, really playing at the high level. And our defense does as good as anybody in the country. So, I'm like I said, I think that progress has been made. We're getting better, and just want to keep day by day. Better today than yesterday, better tomorrow than today. That's our approach right now.
That is Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh, and that block M does not stand for monotony when he is talking. But a 45-20 win over SMU. Graham Couch, it was a win. It wasn't a 36-point spread that Las Vegas had out there for you to bite on. But where are the Wolverines this week, besides back in Ann Arbor getting ready for a third straight home game?
Yeah, I don't think we know entirely yet. And there are things you see that you go, well, that's positive for them. Shea Patterson moving out of the pocket, showing some of the arm talent, buying time, delivering throws at time. But they can't get a tough yard still when they need it. And that's still surprising, although Michigan State obviously having the same problems. Maybe there just are no linemen in the state of Michigan right now. And the defense, I just don't, they're not overwhelming. And I thought that was going to be the calling card for that team this year. They were going to have one unit that was overwhelming, and that was their path to a potential Big Ten championship, and they don't have it right now.
Tom Crawford, my broadcast partner, afternoons on the Spotlight Radio Network, said that he didn't think any team was going to score more than 21 points against the Wolverines, and they looked pretty mortal. They gave up a bunch early against Notre Dame. Rico Beard, linebacker Devin Bush made headlines this week, saying how much he hates Michigan State and more than Ohio State. What do those comments mean, if anything?
Well, it's one of those times I really wish I could turn to Tom and just let him have it. But you're not Tom.
Stunt Tom.
What it says is the tide has changed. And they are taught from the second they walk in. Ohio State is on your level, Michigan State is not. Their little brother, you don't acknowledge them. Devin Bush acknowledged Michigan State and said that's more important. Now, it could be for the fact that Ohio State and Michigan, that rivalry, that's the hammer to the nail. And guess what? The hammer never panics. The hammer knows I'm going to drive the nail in. Maybe they're thinking we can possibly beat State. We have no chance against Ohio State. But he validated Michigan State, whether he knows it or not, by letting you know we're tired of getting beat by Michigan State. That's the team that we hate the most.
Is that a breakthrough in this series, Graham, that suddenly one of Michigan's best players has deemed Michigan State as relevant?
Well, this is the argument Tom Izzo used to make, that it would take 15 years of winning rather consistently by the Michigan State football to turn that in terms of the psyche of it. And so maybe this is one of those sort of chips into the stone on that. I don't know. It's something. If Michigan State wins 3 or 4 more times, I think we'll start to see more and more of these sort of comments.
So how do those comments play in the Michigan State locker room? There is a game coming up in October. And the fact that Devin Bush is popping off about this, how much is that noted or posted?
I don't think it changes the psyche of Michigan State. I think that Michigan State will still feel the quote-unquote disrespect that they've always felt, and feel that maybe he's just one out of the other 99 players on that team and the rest of the coaching staff that's actually going to acknowledge the rivalry. So that won't change anything.
You'd rather be hated than ignored.
Yeah.
And see, and as much as I think Devin Bush is the dirtiest player out there, he's a good player, but he's dirty. He actually was smart the way he did it. He didn't talk about the game. He just simply said, I hate Michigan State. He didn't say, oh, the next time we see State, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. He just simply said, I hate them. I don't even want to touch the green. He just let you know how he felt without bringing up the game. Actually pretty smart on his part.
Well, if he hates Michigan State that much, you can only imagine what Rashawn Gary must feel after his reaction after the game last year.
My God, yeah.
He finally stopped crying.
I thought somebody died in the Gary family. I mean, he was still wailing, and they had to pick him up a couple of times. I thought somebody was going to come over with a Martin Luther King fan and fan him, like, it's okay, son. It's all right. They're in a much better place, son. They're in a much better place. Don't worry about it. They up with Jesus. That's what it looked like.
Who has it better than them? You can go through the list. Darian, taking a look at the Michigan schedule, what will the Wolverines' record be when they head to East Lansing for that game on October 20th, and what will it be on the bus ride home?
Well, I have them at 6-1 going to Michigan State. I have them losing to Wisconsin the week before. You know, it would be nice
so
if...
That'd be a second loss.
Oh yeah, second loss. Excuse me, 6-2 or 5-2. So it would be nice if Scott Frost could get his first win, but the way Nebraska's playing, I can't put any stock in that. Before the season, I would have thought Northwestern would have given them a chance, but once again, can't put any stock in that. I do think Wisconsin will be able to run it down their throat because, you know, hats off to Rico. He didn't drink the Kool-Aid. I thought Michigan had a championship defense. Haven't seen it yet, and they'll be leaving East Lansing.
But if Michigan was 95 Nebraska, Rico still wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid.
No, it's not drinking the Kool-Aid, it's looking at the facts. The facts is that defense does well against Western Michigan. They don't do well against teams that are their equal. They pound pitiful teams.
Wisconsin didn't exactly put it down the throats of BYU yesterday either. So we'll be back in just a minute, our Paving the Way segment of 5th Anniversary Tribute. We'll be right back.
Get in the game during the Honda Summer Spectacular event because you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
Fall is here, and at American Metal Roofs, our schedule's getting tight. To get your new roof before winter, you must order now. This month, you'll save up to $7,500. Call 844-METAL Roofs today and visit
AmericanMetalRoofs.com. In a world in need of integrity, Fox 47 presents a team of superheroes that will rule your daytime. The League of Justice, bringing truth, compassion, humor to a city yearning for fairness, led by the masked crusader Judge Millian.
You're such a liar.
People's Court puts naughty people in their place.
Up until this point, had you heard anything about you having a daughter?
Then Paternity Court saves the day by finding out who is your daddy.
I'll dismiss your case and throw you out. Got it?
The Mighty Mathis and the sizzling trio of Hot Bench blaze the trail for the Queen of the Court, Judge Judy. The League of Justice rules weekdays on Fox 47.
So you
I want to take back what's ours. Empire, September 26th on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint.
cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Paving the Way segment, brought to you by McKerney Asphalt, your smart choice for all commercial and residential paving. Give Team McKerney a call at 484-3188, as I just did, and give your property a great new look. If not, it's no one's fault but your own. There you see the fight last night. Don't know if any of you guys saw that. Darian, don't know if you watched that. Some
Every
people with the
second of it.
pay-per-view. Yeah. Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, about as close as you can get. 1 point difference, and it would have been a draw. Instead, you get a split decision and a new middleweight champion. All right. Team 260, if you divide that number by 52, you come to an even 5. 5 years we have been on the air with this show, Rico. Been there the whole time, as you have, Graham. We even had a daily show for a while, somehow survived that experience, and now we've been in 2 different facilities and multiple studios. Rico, as you think back to all the fun we've had here, what's the highlight of the first 5 years?
Highlight of the first 5 years is me being right. I mean, come on now. We all remember, and if you don't, YouTube it, Rico Beard, Rutgers. As I tried to tell these knuckleheads, I drink the Kool-Aid, as some say, Michigan in the summer was going to lose a night game to Rutgers at Rutgers. Got laughed at, Darian. They mocked me, but I came out on top.
We still do.
I'm the champion. I'm the people's champion.
This is the guy who had a Michigan basketball team that wound up in the national championship
Wait,
game, going to the CBI.
I'm sorry. Did
right?
he ask you?
I'm trying to get something.
Graham, do you remember that?
Give me the question,
me,
Jack.
Right?
Feed it to me.
All right? Because you know what? You don't have one that you were right. Not at all. You still talking that MAC basketball stuff, right? Oh, okay, that's what I thought. All right, go ahead.
He's been right a lot, just not that one Illinois game.
The Illinois game was rough, 2013.
The funny thing about that night, Rico, was when you reached over and you pulled Crawford's microphone away from him and just left him speechless.
In my office, I still have a picture that the Rutgers SID sent me. They found me and said, thank you for believing in us, and they inscribed it and everything, and it sits in my office at the school. And I tell all the kids the story, and I play the YouTube clip.
Darian, you're the newest and youngest regular panelist we have on this show. What stands out to you about Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate?
Well, you know, I've grown up obviously watching a lot of sports shows on whatever network you might name. This one doesn't follow anybody's agenda. Everybody has their own opinion, as you can see. Everybody speaks their own mind. Everybody brings their own values and morals to the show. Everybody brings their own facts to the show. And I think that's really important, especially when you're talking about a sports debate show. And I think now in 2018, when you look at a lot of the national shows out there, everything's about an agenda. Everything's about some hierarchy and higher power. And fortunately, we don't have that here. I don't think anybody that sits on this panel would ever conform to that anyway, so no chance that would happen.
Not likely. Graham Couch, there were people in this business, when they heard we were doing this show, they said 6 weeks, max. And here we are, still on different set here. A lot of things have changed, but we're still going. Why?
Well, I think it's what Darian said, right? It's authentic. We filled a need in the market. The amount of people that have come up to me over time and said, this is something they look forward to every Sunday night, so I think you fill a need and then you get the right people, and it is. I mean, the Tom, and Rico.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and say it. People want more of me. Go ahead. Pains you to say that, doesn't it? Go ahead.
Nobody's ever actually said that to me.
Yeah,
Nobody's ever said that to me. But I think that dynamic is good. Probably overdone, but good. And no, I think it's a good dynamic with everybody you have on.
Do I have to pay you an extra $25 tonight to sit there where Tom normally sits and take the abuse?
You're just a substitute Tom. I know Tom Crawford. You, my friend, you're no Tom Crawford.
We will be back in just a couple of minutes, and we're going to have our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank. We're going to have all of our locks and our guarantees about the Lions, the Wolverines, and the Michigan State Spartans. Coming up next on Trespass.
You've heard the term Pick Six. It can mean different things, but the Shaheen Pick Six means one thing: saving money on a new car. Because at Shaheen Chevrolet, the Pick Six means we have 6 models all under $200 a month. That's right, 6 top Chevy models all under $200 a month. The Cruze, Trax, Malibu, Colorado, even the Silverado and Equinox, all priced under $200 a month. Only from Mid-Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, Shaheen Chevrolet, where you always get the best price on a new Chevy, guaranteed or it's free.
You ready? I'm ready. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I'm not buying what you're saying to me, but I'm going to let you dig your hole. No. You don't hustle me. Now we're getting somewhere. You're making up a story now. I can tell. I'm like a truth machine. We're done.
Weekdays starting at 4 on Fox 47.
The Resident season premiere Monday, September 24th on Fox.
Visit any Graf dealership today and get an on-the-spot appraisal for your trade. And if we can't make a trade, we'll give you a $20 gift card. We feel if you let us appraise your trade, we'll earn your business. And you'll get great Graf deals like these.
Drive off a new Silverado double cab for just $174 a month.
What if they're in a lease? Well, we'll give them $20 for their time also, because we buy a lot of leases too. We want your trade, and if you let us appraise it, we'll earn your business. Trade in, trade up, get more, only at a Graf dealership near you.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most. 2 defensive touchdowns. I thought I was looking at Shalik Calhoun again. For Ohio State in that win over TCU. Not that the Ohio State offense isn't dangerous enough if you're going to hand them 14 points on plays like that. Actually, the first touchdown on the strip sack by Bosa should have been a safety. The guy was touching the ball, his foot was out of the end zone. But Team 260, we are 2 weeks through the NFL regular season. For most teams, we are a quarter of the way through the college season, and we're almost halfway through the high school season. 4 weeks out of 9. Darian Harris, what can we bank on when Michigan State travels to Bloomington, a tough place to play in any situation?
Well, I think they'll cover the points, but I do think it's going to be an air raid kind of game from both sides. I don't think Indiana's going to be able to run all the inside zones they've been running to start the season off, and I think that they'll probably come the second half completely scrap the running game.
Will either team run for 100 yards?
I don't think either team will run for 100 yards, but I do think both teams will probably throw for 300 plus.
Graham Couch, from what we have seen of the Lions thus far, a no-show on Monday night and a close call, maybe a game that they should have had with the comeback at Levi's Stadium. What do you expect when the Patriots roll in next Sunday night to face Patriots West?
Well, this is a take it to the bank prediction. I have a gut feeling this is going to be a Lions type game, and they may win this one. Doesn't mean they won't be 1-5. But this feels like, I remember them being 0-4 and beating the 49ers once on Monday Night Football. This feels like a game they're going to show up for. I don't think the Patriots are as good as they've been right now. They haven't figured some things out.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if the Lions find a way to get this one done at home.
Yeah, the 1-5 you thought would have been the Jets, not the Patriots.
The reason that I'm having trouble with that is that the Patriots lost today to Jacksonville. It's hard for me to grasp Belichick and Brady not being focused.
And the fact that Bill Belichick likes to take his assistants to the woodshed. He shows them no mercy. He shows them you're trying. No. Let me show you. It's cold out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I wouldn't take what I said as betting advice. Like if you got cash, I would, not use that for this.
Rico, since Tom Crawford has a well-deserved night off, get your take on what we can expect with what the Wolverines did at Notre Dame and struggling yesterday. What can we take to the bank about the rest of this month? A couple of NUs, Nebraska coming in, and then the trip to Northwestern.
Well, in my Tom Crawford impersonation, well, my friend, let me tell you this. Michigan is going to have 2 scares in this game. They're going to have 2 scares. They're going to win them both because Northwestern can't beat Michigan at home. They find a way to lose. And Nebraska is still struggling. But I do think Michigan will have 2 scares. They'll win the games, but it won't be the way that they think they're going to win them.
Nebraska has one of the most unique situations, Darian. They had this quarterback controversy. And so they said, okay, we're going to go with Martinez, the freshman. And then everybody else clears out. And then when he gets injured, hey, they got walk-ons next. Coming in there, didn't quite work against Troy.
No, it didn't. He played okay, but it's not going to get it done. Martinez, I think, could be special, though.
If Martinez is healthy, maybe they pull it off.
He'll be healthy when they play Michigan State in November. We'll be right back with our Cool and Smooth segment. All of our weekly awards up next.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
On September 28th, Tim Allen comes to Fox.
Am I wrong, or is it like way better on this network?
New episodes, same attitude.
You honestly respect my opinion? Not even a little.
Last Man Standing, all new season Friday, September 28th on Fox.
Hot Bench is here to lay down the law.
Weekdays at 3 on Fox 47.
Hey, partner. I take this partnership thing very seriously. Big day for us, buddy. Hey, Cole, you're on fire. No, man, we both crushed it. No, you are literally on fire. Your arm. I'm on fire. Jump! Maybe we just have different styles. Yours is working out really well for you. I knew I should have retired. Woo.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for a cool and smooth segment brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious Butterburgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious. On our 5th anniversary show, it's the first time we have ever shown a fair catch, except it wasn't a fair catch. It only was if you were completely fooled as the Arkansas Razorbacks were.
I'd run that thing on a loop if I was the Arkansas coaches. Every time they walked in the building, they would see that thing. That's embarrassing.
How many times do you think Arkansas is going to have to look at that play, right?
It's going to
be like low trouble with the snap.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be like the intro to lots of segments everywhere. Yeah, that's brutal.
All right, Team 260, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Graham Couch, let's start with you in our play of the week.
So there are lots of ways to go, right? It was a tremendous weekend in college football, and you can argue the LSU's comeback and the field goal and all that stuff. And on the other side, I think the bad call on Clay Matthews sacking Kirk Cousins that I think impacts that division greatly. But I'm going to go with 2 Lions plays: the return for a touchdown and the interception return nearly for a pick 6.
Yeah.
Both called back because I was the sucker this week. Both times I felt my heart skip a beat, and I've trained myself over the years not to care, not to watch too much, not to think it could happen, and I'll learn my lesson. It was early this year, and both times I was like, whoa, that's something.
Yeah.
And so those are the 2 plays of the week for what they have to remind us all, that it'll never actually be what you think it is in that moment where it happens.
It's a little bit like Browns fans, Darren. You know, they went through that again, so it never changes. Rico Beard, what about our game of the week?
Well, I was happy. You could ask the Rube. That's my team that won today.
Loves the Niners.
So, game of the week ended up being 2 ranked teams. It was the LSU Tigers versus the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah.
And LSU mounts a 9. They're down 21-13. Scored 9 points, including, driving all the way down. Joe Burrows goes and he gets him in the field goal position. LSU kicks the winning field goal with no time to go, upsetting Auburn at Auburn.
Yeah.
And then it really dawned on me, not only was it impressive that Burrows, what he's doing at LSU, and how Ed Orgeron is now off the hot seat, but Ohio State is so good, they donated a senior quarterback to LSU and didn't miss a beat. They don't even care. They don't need him. LSU needs him. Ohio State doesn't. But that LSU-Auburn game, there was a lot of exciting games. The Vanderbilt-Notre Dame game, just as much drama in it, but to see what Ed Orgeron has done, and then I love just listening to his interviews afterwards. That's what makes it.
Well, and those 2 are 2 heavyweights, right? I mean, that's why, and you know it when you're watching it, and that's
Purdue
why
donated a quarterback to LSU too, but that didn't work out quite as well. This was a lot better. Darian Harris, what about our team of the week?
Team of the week, I like Graham's approach here. So on the positive note, I give a few shout-outs real quick. One to BYU, one to Alabama, who is mounting a season that may put them as the best team in college football history. Kansas City and Tampa Bay, the way they've started the season off has been great. But my team of the week is the Buffalo Bills, who are so bad that they had a cornerback by the name of Vontae Davis retire at halftime. Put his street clothes on and walk out of the stadium and say, I'm done with football in the middle of the game. I have never, ever seen that before.
You can't sign a player at halftime to play the second half.
See, Andy's from D.C.
Said I'd
never
rather
seen that
retire
before.
than play for the Buffalo Bills.
I've never seen that before a day in my life.
Player of the week, I just want to give a quick shout out to Carson Crum, a standout linebacker for Okemos. Getting ready to debut this new field. He breaks his leg Friday night, and our thoughts are with him. Patrick Mahomes, if you haven't seen him yet, watch him with the Chiefs. Want to thank Graham Couch, Rico Beard, Darian Harris, getting ready for year 6. We'll be back next week, everyone. Have a great week.